Good morning, y'all, and welcome back to Keys to the Streets. I got Tim with me. Hey, Tim.
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing this morning?
And this morning, we just gotta, wrap up. We got a lot to wrap up. I usually like to focus on, the city, what's happened locally, but I feel like there was a lot of things that happened for the culture that we gotta, kind of summarize and wrap up in this month. Again, it's Black Music Month, it's Juneteenth, it's Pride Month. So many things that are coming together and pushing the culture. So we just gonna get right into the nonsense.
Let's get into it because it was a bunch.
Right. Tim, did you watch the Verses?
Unfortunately, I did.
Unfortunately?
Listen, that was a bunch of hot mess, man. I can't tell you how much that made me cringe. I've never seen a group of artists so messy on one stage at one time, ever.
And might I add, it was all men. Just want to make that point.
All men.
Okay.
All men.
So I definitely got my life with the Verses. It was every boy crush I had and didn't have growing up. So it definitely was just a point of nostalgia for me. But I can't disagree with you, Tim. Watching it, I was just like, man, they can't sing. Like, what was I thinking? People come to me, to help them with the playlist, to make the mixtapes and all of that. And I was like, this is what I thought was good. These are your kings. And yes, they were up there shining bright.
Like diamonds.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. So it definitely was a hot mess, but I'm like, so was our childhood.
Man, listen, yes. I have never seen so many. We can tell that these guys were not in shape at all. They were not ready to perform, and this was the longest Verses of them all.
And the most watched, wasn't it?
It was the most watched. It was the most
because the millennials and Gen Xers were tuned in for that debacle.
It was a debacle. And Swiss Beats was in the comments saying, "Hey guys, I'm sorry. It's a situation."
It was so funny because, like, just the comments and people arguing in the comments about who can sing. None of them can sing, and that's okay. Now if we're discussing who's the worst, I don't know. I could have done without Jeremiah, but Ray J definitely reminded everybody,
We got to give Jeremiah some grace because he was on a ventilator 2 months ago.
Okay, you're right. He was really, he had a battle with COVID, but he should have known to just be in the audience and offer support. But no, Ray J reminded everybody that he was Brandy's little brother, and that is all, and Snoop Dogg's cousin, and that has always been his role in his street cred, because Sammy and them did not have to sign him the way they did. They did not have to get him.
They stole that man's song. They stole his song, man. And then sang it in front of him.
It was a public shakedown. They shook the man down.
Oh,
with his baby in his hands. But like I said, I lived for that Black culture. I love us authentically in all ways. And so that was just hilarious to me.
That was comedy, pure comedy.
Right, pure comedy. And, of course, there was the beef that kind of spilled after that, the B2K beef with Omarion and the rest of the crew, or his backup dancers. According to him. But yes, like I said, moments for the culture that if you were there, you were there. Even if you weren't physically there, if you were there on Black Twitter, you were there in those moments.
All the clips were being made. They was pumping them clips out so quick.
Right, so quick. But anyways, back to the music. the real music. And I mean, that's even debatable. So we are in this house phase, right? You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
it's this big global shift with Drake and Beyonce dropping music and projects that are very housey. You
Yep.
know, I
Yep.
would say gentrified house music, if you will.
Ooh.
But you know, that's just my opinion of it.
Okay.
Well, but what did you think of the? We'll start with Drake. What did you think of Drake's project?
I thought this was not what I was expecting from him, but I mean, he, Drake and Beyonce can basically drop whatever they want,
Right.
and it would be perfectly fine. So them wanting to drop out, house music or some version of house music, is perfectly fine. I can't say that I know a lot of house music. I know a lot of classic house music because of the city that we lived in. We had no choice but to listen to it. So I do know, the classics, but it's still decent music. It's not something that I hate. And it may potentially grow on me later on, as time
Right.
goes by, we get outside, hopefully. And yeah, I don't really have a problem with it. And some people absolutely hate this Drake album though.
Yeah, and I get it. But I think Drake is always, he safely pushes the envelope, if that makes sense.
Yes.
It's like Drake is all, and I think that's why he gets coined the culture vulture, because he attaches to a sound and will work with popular artists who, emulate or make that sound or are in that subgenre, or he will just make an album of him essentially imitating or being one of those type of artists, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm like, this wasn't new for me, because Drake has always done this. He'll do a project where it's an ode to the 90s. He'll do a project where it's an ode to Screw. He'll do a project where it's ode to soca, Afrobeat type style. He's definitely had songs where he's appealed to the like UK drill sound. So I'm like, this has definitely been him. He'll also flex his Canadian accent as well in some of his projects. He's an actor, so I think we have to think of that first when digesting Drake's music. He likes to be versatile. He likes to have that diversity safely. So with taking the most popular sounds, I think is what allows him to be safe even in those subgenres. So it was no different for house. I do think it was it was good because it's catchy, but it was lazy. It was normal Drake. I think he didn't necessarily have the vocals that you have with house. Like, people think house is just a very simple beat, repetition. And of course that is one of the formulas for house music, but a lot of times it's the hooks, it's the vocals that really kind of draw you in, that complement that simplicity of the repetition and the affirmations and things like that. So I do think he kind of fell flat on that. And that was some of the criticism that was even heard with Beyonce as well, that it kind of fell flat in that regard. I still don't think it was anything different from Beyonce. The sound, the vocals were very much Beyonce. The beat was the house type feel, and then throwing in the bounce with the affirmations of Big Freedia. I think that was what really solidified it as a track,
Right.
I
think Big Freedia was the adding of Big Freedia was a very
Chef's kiss, right? It was very strategic, though.
They knew exactly what to do with that. They knew who to go to.
Exactly.
Big Freedia is, it's Big Freedia, man. She gets it going no matter what she's on.
Absolutely. And I think with that, house has always been a subgenre. So with that, it's been on the outskirts of even Black music. So it's considered the outcasts make house, the
Right.
the gays, the goths, the EDMs, the social outcasts,
Right.
but who are also the trendsetters, and I mean that in the most complimentary way.
Yeah.
That's who makes house. So I just think the epitome of Beyonce challenges that. And so you had to bring in someone who emulates that style of house, that outcast, that flair, that, don't give a care about anyone's feelings. These are the sounds. This is me taking up space. And that was what Big Freedia added the legitimacy to the track, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I say all that and I'm still playing it 3-4 times a day. I just think I love house music because a lot of times it's usually very positive. It's chanty. It's easy to remember.
Yes.
So I'm like,
simplicity is a good thing.
Absolutely. And I think when you choose the lyrics well, it's that added touch of you don't need a whole lot. Like you said, that simplicity works with house music. And I think the positivity that you get a lot in house music, it might be needed right now. We have so many things going on from, Roe v. Wade to the continued onslaught of Black culture and Black people.
Right.
I think, in Black music, if we think about what happened to Gunna and Young Thug,
right,
having that violence in your music can definitely be to your detriment. It might, they might hail you, but then they gonna nail you. So it's best to have that music that really doesn't. It's safe at times, for a Black person. And it's hard to say that. And even in Black music, like saying that's what people are doing right now,
Yeah. I mean, one thing I also wanted to touch on was what about Drake is that, and you put it in a very eloquent way, is that Drake will take on, I don't know if maybe he's in the New Jersey area or the Chicago area where house music is more prevalent. I don't necessarily know who, I don't want to give the wrong state, credit for making house music. But I do know when I think of house music, those are the two areas that I think of, New Jersey and Chicago for sure. When it comes to them being the major contributors to this genre of music. But maybe he was just in those areas. I know, like you said earlier, he has done stuff with Houston. He'll come down to Houston and stay for a while and completely take on the Houston culture. He's done it with Memphis. He's done it, he's Canadian. So, of course, he's going to pay homage to his home. So it's just, I don't know. I mean, it's just they're in those spaces to where they have the option to be creative, and I think we should let them do it. I do think Jimmy Cook's was a misplaced song, maybe like a little Lucy. I don't necessarily know, but listen, 21 Savage and Drake, hey,
they don't miss. But you're right. I think it's
to miss with them.
I'm a 21 Savage fan, so I agree with you. I just didn't think it was necessary for him to be on there, especially in the direction that this album went. And that's why I say sometimes I think Drake can definitely still be safe. He knew that, I'm making this somewhat different album or that veers from my norm as far as my audience or my type of sound. So I'm gonna just throw 21 Savage on there because we know he hot right now. Like, it just kind of just in case.
Right.
But anyways, moving on, like I said, check out the albums, listen to them. I do think that in the world and the times that we're living in and the type of music that we're digesting, it's always cool to listen to something new and different, even if you don't necessarily like it. And like you said, you can do your research. House originated in Chicago in the 1980s, and then it spread very quickly to places like New York and Detroit. But yeah, I did just want to speak to the historical information as you were kind of alluding to that, Tim. So yes, it started Midwest in Chicago, and I think it branched out, but it's always been a Black sound. And so a part of me is also glad that we're reclaiming it, because for a while, house was kind of a lot of times it was related to, white culture and how
Yes,
started
very
with
much
us,
so.
like so many other genres have begun with us. So yeah, I'm glad. Like I said, it's the pros and cons. I do think they could have maybe done a better job at some of the tracks or the way that they produced them or introduced them. But at the same time, I am glad that they're paying homage to a sound and reclaiming a sound that's ours. And for them to drop during Black Music Month, that's even better.
Yeah, for sure.
Now,
and shout out to Beyonce because she's been looking real healthy lately.
You know what?
Yeah.
These BET Awards last night.
Boy. Another mess.
I'm so mad because we really got to get into this break, but this is going to be on the extended version because I have mixed feelings about the BET Awards. I always do.
It hit and miss.
Absolutely. But I definitely saw the mixed reviews from everyone, as we all congregated on Black Twitter. And, a part of me is like, y'all, what is y'all doing, BET? But then I'm also like, you can't please everybody. And we have to remember that with Black people. We say all the time we are not monolithic, but we are monolithic. We treat each other as if we are. Yeah. So it was for every thing that happened at the BET Awards, I saw people who agreed and supported, and then people who were just disgusted by it. Yep. And so I just find that hilarious. You can't please us all. But I am glad that they are, giving us something. I feel like they've tried a little bit harder than in the last few years as far as the BET Awards. So hats off to BET. I actually know people who work there now, so it's harder to talk mess.
What the main thing that I would say I'm extremely happy about is the amount of celebrities that showed up.
Same.
Because BET, especially the BET Awards, has been
historically we didn't attend.
No, we did not. Now the Hip Hop Awards that came later on in the year, that was something that a lot of people attended. So I'm happy to see that, our bigger celebrities like Babyface, I did not expect Chloe Bailey to be there.
I didn't expect Kirk Franklin to be there.
I didn't expect Kirk Franklin to be there. I didn't expect a lot of these guys that won these awards. I did not expect them to be there.
Kanye was there. You know how I feel about Kanye, but Kanye was at the BET Awards.
And Kanye was doing Kanye stuff.
Oh, right.
So.
I be up there like, get y'all mans, cause he y'all mans.
He used to be my man. I can't connect with him anymore, man. It's like I just can't, and I don't know.
And then the mess, though. I'm like, I was not here for BET's mess. Let me tell you, we gonna get right into the tea, because how dare you have the P. Diddy tribute should honestly just be a full separate episode. Anyway, but I'm just gonna get right into the P. Diddy tribute. How are you receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award and you performing every song? One, I'm like, Diddy is the biggest narcissist, and it is hilarious to me. I love him to death, but he's gonna Diddy every time.
But but people, historically speaking, majority of the time they will have like one or two people perform a couple of songs, and then the artists would get up there and do their songs.
They would, but I'm like, he did the whole thing, and I'm like, this was the same thing as the Bad Boy reunion when they performed like last year. It was the same. Nothing was original. I was hoping they was gonna bring out Loon.
Loon is not.
I think he's still incarcerated.
No, Loon is out, and Loon is teaching the ways of the Muslim.
Oh,
he's Muslim now. I don't want to offend anybody, but
they find Allah in jail, and that's cool. However you get through it. But I thought they was gonna come through with "I Need a Girl" Part 2. But it's cool. It's cool. They brought out Shine. I was really surprised. Someone tweeted like, I want the forgiveness that Shine has for Diddy, because Y'all know the backstory with that.
No, that is messy.
Right? And then the fact that they gonna have Jodeci out, and then you gonna have Mary J sing and come out right after Jodeci like she didn't date Casey.
I will give I understand the PTSD and the trauma and the past trauma of that situation.
That was messy.
And they did, that was very, very bad. I've heard some very nasty stories. You guys can go and look that up on your own time. I don't want to divulge in that. I will say Casey and JoJo did look very good.
They did.
Singing. They sound healthy.
But I mean, they still can't sing. I don't know if maybe I'm still shell shocked from this verses, but I just, as soon as they came out, I said, so we didn't get enough bad singing this week already.
Oh my God.
Already.
Maybe they just can't move. They can't perform like they used to. I'm pretty sure if they were just to stand there and sing, they could belt it out.
You're right, because Genuine coming around here doing these kindergarten flips now on the stage, and maybe because you got to realize, like, you ain't in your prime no more, so just stand up there and sing so you can hit your note.
Hank said that Genuine does everything except the Genuine dance. You need to stick with what got him there.
Oh my God, you're horrible. But I'm leaning into my fandom for Lotto. I'm starting to come around and like her, but I did think it was really cool that she brought out Mariah Carey.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Lord.
Mariah Carey left her house for the BET Awards. Y'all playing.
She got out there, man. She got to get out there.
And then she brought out,
it's almost her season.
You're right. She got it because she got a lawsuit so she might be out singing that before Thanksgiving this time. But anyways, I don't know. I guess I'm full of the drama too, because this last week of just Black culture was hilarious. Also, Wendy Williams had her last episode. I feel like we can't be on radio.
Congrats to Wendy Williams.
Right. I'm like, as a Black woman, I don't, Wendy Williams got different ideals and things like that, but she definitely kicked doors down for Black women in radio. So shout out to Wendy Williams.
You can shout out Wendy Williams. I'm all for that. Shout out Wendy Williams. But Wendy Williams has made a lot of money off of being negative and going at people, whether it was good or bad. I know she's done a lot of things like in her community, but from what she's known for, majority is
very true.
Very, very, very negative. I hate what she's going through, but I do believe, I'm sorry, but I do believe in karma, and I do believe that negative energy that she put out there all those years, and bringing negative light and negative energy to people's lives, I think that can kind of kick there and I don't like it.
And I can disagree with you there.
I don't like it, and I hate that it's happened to her. But it's like if you believe in karma, this is a very, very good example of how you should treat people and how you talk about people.
I agree.
You have to also, if you talk about people are going to retaliate, especially if something happens to you, which I've seen a lot of retaliation.
Very true. All good gems, good points, fair points. So I agree. Speaking of negative, I did see the BET tribute at the end, and they just kind of made tribute to a lot of Black people who died. And I saw Kevin Samuels there. I said, look at that.
Yeah, that was weird.
And then it ended with the gunshot. I don't know. Like I said, there were pros and cons, but we gonna be positive today and just kind of sum up this Black Music Month. It's been amazing. It's been fun. It's definitely been memorable. So yeah, like I said, we gonna get into a mix. But we thank y'all for continuing to tune into Keys to the Streets, and we have a fun guest up next. All right, y'all. Welcome to Keys to the Streets. And I have a special guest with me today. You know, we couldn't end out the month without paying homage to Pride. It's Pride Month too. It's Black Music Month, Juneteenth, but it's also Pride Month too. So we definitely have to show love to the LGBTQIA community because, I mean, they influence the trend as much as everybody else do. The culture and set the tone for so many things. So I'm pleased to announce that I have Dizzy Christmas with me today. Hey, Dizzy, how are you?
What's up, Keys? I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I really appreciate you taking the time, to speak with me today. I know you up and coming, but you on the rise. Like it's been happening for you quickly, I see.
Yeah, it has. Real quickly. I'm a little scared, but we're going to keep pushing.
Well, can you tell, us a little bit about what you do? Like, we're here in Austin. I follow you. I've actually seen some of my mutual friends on IG follow you too. Yeah. So it's cool to see that. But can you tell, us a little bit about what you do and how you got into the industry?
Okay, well, I am a comedian. I started off doing just skits, just videos. I started doing videos back in like 2014, I want to say. A lot of people don't know that. And I started off doing story times, which I'm very known for now. And eventually I transitioned into skits. And then, I don't know, people was just like, you funny, you should try stand-up. I never once really said I want to be a stand-up comedian. I just kind of got pulled in that direction and, I just been jumping into it. So it's right. Really cool. I like it. It's a little scary though. It's definitely different from making videos, in the privacy of my own home to going on the stage and people right there in your face looking at you.
Right. That takes a whole different skill set. I've met some, because you got to separate it. You a comedian, but you an influencer too. It's different. Because like you said, it's some influencers who literally have nice homes and film all their content in their home and don't really go out and may not be real people, a real people person. Yeah. And so you have to have both of those skill sets. Can you explain like the differences of being in your home creating content versus being out
on the stage? Well, yeah, because when I'm at home, it's just me. You know what I'm saying? If I mess up, I could redo it. If I feel like something's not funny enough, like I said, I can redo it. When you on stage, you right there. The time is there. You know what I'm saying? If I mess up, everybody gonna know I messed up. You know what I'm saying? So right. I gotta make sure I'm hitting it. I'm nailing it. The delivery gotta be right. I gotta get out what I'm trying to say that first time. Then too, people always want to talk to me and stuff like that. I'm a people person, so it's not. But sometimes I do like being by myself, which is why I like doing, my videos. But it's definitely a huge difference, like I said, and but I'm for it. I can do it.
Yeah. So speaking of stand-up comedy, you just had a show in Charlotte, and I heard amazing things, great ratings.
Well, I just did a show in Dallas.
Oh, really? So you had one in Charlotte and in Dallas?
Yeah. So my Dallas show was June 18th. It was pretty dope. The space was nice. Dallas definitely fooled with me. I fooled with Dallas, okay? So I also had a show back in March. I think it was like the 12th. It was in Charlotte. I was a little disappointed in Charlotte because they ain't come out like they said they would. They waited till I left Charlotte to ask me when I was coming to North Carolina. I said, you know what? Forget y'all. I was there.
Well, at least Dallas showed love. So that means, that Texas already looking good. So you might have to go ahead and just come on down to Austin, right?
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. I can't even say no.
So recently you've had some, outside of just your comedy shows, you hit another milestone as far as an influencer. Can you tell us a little bit about that? How was that feeling? Like, you big time now.
Yes, I hit, I'm at 111K on Instagram. And it's so crazy because I want to say like last year, February, I was at like 5,000. So it grew so quickly. Wow. And I was like, dang, I didn't know I could do this. Like I said, I never really thought that quickly. So I think it's really dope. Like I said, that's scary too, you know, because given my appearance, you know, because a lot of people, listen, kids, it's not easy being a female that can grow facial hair. You know what I'm saying? Then here I am posting, you know what I'm saying? So people look at me in pure confusion. A lot of people in pure confusion. So it's funny to see, you know. It's funny to see because with me being an influencer now, it's like I'm spreading a type of awareness too.
Right, absolutely. And that takes confidence. Like you said, like that is literally, you know, you front and center on a stage, making content. Like you said, it's different from when you being in your room or in your home to being out. You can prepare, like you create the content when you're at home. You know what's going to be said. You know the punchlines, all of those things, but you can't necessarily account for somebody heckling you in the crowd or, you know, saying something, throwing you off your game. So that can, you know, putting yourself there in the limelight, that definitely takes a lot of courage. That's why I was like, you know, what caused that transition? Was it just, you know, people encouraging you to just step out? Did you like have to, you help talk yourself before? Like, what's your process before you go out on stage?
Okay, well, you know, like I said, people was kind of pulling me in a direction, telling me that I should try it. And I feel like in comedy, you're open to a lot of opportunities. So I was like, you know, why not? You know, so that's what really got me into it. I've never been good at like a public speaking. Like it even stem back to school days, you know, back when we used to have to do presentations. You know what I'm saying? Voice get to shaking, I get to stuttering, like I don't even know who I am.
Okay, that's how it used to be. Quivering, top lip get to sweating.
Yeah, you know, it's scary because it's not like you just in the room, but it's different being just in the room with other people versus all eyes on you. So that's, you know what I'm saying? But now that I'm older, like, you know, can I say it? Like, you know, I do drink a little bit, you know, get me, you know, I gotta, you know, because you gotta loosen up. I drink, I take me a shot or two before each show. You know, I'm not even gonna lie.
Right.
I have to be
you gotta get your, like, that takes courage. And, you know, back in college, we called your little drinky drink, little liquid courage. And sometimes you need that liquid courage, that extra push.
You definitely need that, okay? That's nothing anybody that can just get on that stage sober, I applaud it.
Absolutely.
That's scary.
Well, I see you repping the Arkansas hat, and I just got it like, is that where you from? Don't tell me.
I am from Arkansas.
I grew up in Arkansas. That's crazy.
What part?
So I lived in Hope, Nashville, and I lived in Texarkana and Ogden, like small town.
Okay, I know where Texarkana is. I don't know where the mother was at. Yeah, I'm from Conway.
Okay.
That's like 30 minutes away from Little Rock. Most people just know Little Rock when you talk about Arkansas. They don't know nothing else.
Right, they pretty much know Fayetteville, Little Rock, Hot Springs, and Texarkana. Like that's it.
Most of the time, yep. That's about it. But I'm from Conway. It's just a little small town. It's grown a lot actually though, because you know where I'm at right now, I'm not too far from home. So I go back and visit sometimes.
Gotcha.
And it's definitely growing. Proud of them.
Absolutely. And that was always, you know, it was a trip to come to Texas, to touch down in Dallas, because that was pretty much as far as you was going to go in Arkansas.
Yes. That's where all the Arkansas is running to now, Texas.
They really are.
They running to Texas. It's either Dallas or Houston.
Exactly. But you'd be surprised. I met a lot of people from Arkansas in Austin. So,
really?
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know why. Like, they're from all different places, very rarely from any of the cities I grew up in. But I noticed, like, they just feel like home. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just, Arkansas has this country feel to it, but it also, it's a hidden gem. Like, now people, you know, they get little houses out there, vacation homes. They see the greenery and everything. Because I'm like, it's a beautiful state. Like, once you really... Yeah, so I'm like, dang, now they're going to do it like they did Austin. They're going to find out about it, and everything going to blow up.
Yeah, you know they coming. Because Austin, how far is Austin from Dallas?
3 hours.
Oh, okay. So you close, is it close to Houston?
Yeah, 3 hours from Dallas and 2.5 hours from Houston.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so not too far. Like, we really right in the center of everything.
Yeah, that's really not bad.
Right, we 3-4 hours from Corpus, Padre Island, so it's like, you know, you get the coast, you get everything kind of.
Yeah,
we're in a good spot, but yeah, you got to come down. Like our pride, Black Pride, Austin Pride is a huge thing. So yeah, you know, might have to get you on a couple bills or something.
Yeah, I think that's what needs to happen. I actually haven't been to a Pride in a while. I don't know if I can't find a fun one or I don't know. But I haven't been to one.
I've never heard of an unfun Pride.
No, they have them. They have them.
They exist?
Yeah. I mean, but it's been a while since I've been to one. I had to take a break. So, you know.
I feel you. Plus the pandemic happened. So it really just kind of, you know, maybe next year. You might be right. It might have been good to sit this one out. People was getting their feet under them again.
Yeah. You know, and times is crazy right now. So it's like we got to be careful to even go outside.
Very, you know? Very, very true. You're absolutely right.
We just can't be gay and happy.
Well, I wanted to ask you, a couple more questions because I know, you got to get out in these streets, but...
Yeah, I do. But it's good.
Where do you see yourself in a year? Because, I mean, like you said, February last year, you had 5,000 followers. You probably didn't see yourself having 100,000 followers in a year and a half. So Where do you see yourself in the next year? Where do you see yourself in year 5? Like, I don't know, Dizzy. I kind of see movies in your future.
You know what? I was saying the same thing, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not really a actress for real. But more so, you know what I really like to do? You know how like, you ever watch like Mad TV? Mm-hmm. Mad TV or Saturday Night Live? I like that type of stuff.
Like the improv.
Yeah, that type of stuff is funny to me.
Okay.
I feel like if I was going to do a movie, I do want to be in a movie, but not like as like the main. I just want a little role. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm like the homie or something. You know? Yeah, I'm trying to get my feet wet in everything that includes that comes with comedy. You know what I'm saying? I just want to give everything a try. I want my own TV show. You know, like I want to be it'll be cool to be a part of a TV show, but I prefer to have my own. You know what I'm saying? Where I cast my own.
You start now. Could you see yourself maybe on Wild 'N Out?
You know what? I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. You know what I'm saying? That's a tough one. Maybe. I'm not gonna say no. Maybe, you know. Who knows?
Who knows? I'm just saying, dream big. It's been amazing to see, your ascent in so little, like such short time. So I can't wait to see where you are in, the next year, in the next few years. So I just say, don't count yourself out. Like I know, as you continue to climb, it continues to be less and less people who look like us, who look like you. So I just think, continue to dream. Right now, the doors are kind of open, but it's going to be times where you're going to have to kick the door down and, you might need a couple shots of liquid courage, but you're going to have to get out there.
We kicking them. We definitely kicking them.
Well, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today. For people who want to see more of your content, where can they find you?
You can find me on IG, Dizzy_Christmas. You can actually find me on YouTube too. We're getting it together, but still subscribe with me. Dizzy, DC Christmas. You can even add me on Facebook, Dizzy Christmas. It's all really the same, Dizzy Christmas.
And that's Dizzy.
Yes, and Christmas just spelled like the holiday. Some people be asking me, how do you spell that? Like the holiday.
And like the holiday. Okay, before you go, what you listening to though? What's the last thing you listened to?
What's the last song?
Yeah.
Oh, FNF.
That's my
friend. Okay, you'll swear I like dudes or something. The way I be jamming to that. I had a dude or I got a man, something.
Right, no. It is an FNF summer.
That song turned up everybody.
Exactly. Everybody. Like, shout out to Glorilla. Like, I am here for the ghetto girls reclaiming their
straight
culture.
ratchet.
Exactly. City Girls is up.
I loved it.
Thank you so much. Have a good morning. Thank y'all again.
Thank you too.
To Key to the Streets.
All right, Keys.
Bye.